Shalom, my friends, this is Max Joseph, and I'm here because it is the first day of November, which means it is time for the predictions. To give a quick rundown, the predictions will be a video that will be released on the first of every month and will feature my predictions for the upcoming Academy Awards. Each category will feature the maximum number of nominees possible, with an additional few that are the next in line. And then because it's not really early in the year, but you know, global pandemic, we're not doing the big snub that should make it, so instead, additional few nominees that'll be titled Followed By. And I won't always get into detail about every single pick because then the video would be 9 hours long, so I'll always talk about my pick to win and then some other highlights on the list. And my friends, remember when I said that so much happened last month? Well, that was last month, and this month, even more has happened. What's happened, you ask? Well, let's see. Dune is delayed till next year, Respect is delayed till next year, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Over the Moon, Borat, The Witches, Rebecca, On the Rocks, the 40-year-old version were released. We got the trailers for Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Minari, News of the World, Hillbilly Elegy, Wolfwalkers, Promising Young Woman, Everybody's Talking About Jamie, The Midnight Sky, The White Tiger, Wander Darkly, The Life Ahead, and so much more. This was kind of the month we needed as far as Oscar predictions are concerned. We finally have an idea of what the season is gonna look like. My friends, the race is officially on. But before I go into my predictions, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel and ding that little bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. But more important than that, please make sure that you vote. The most important election of our lifetime is happening as you watch this. And you have the chance to make a difference. People's lives are on the line. If you do anything in these next couple days, make a plan on how you will be voting. And so, here are my predictions for the 2021 Oscars, November edition. Best Picture. First, here are the results for your predictions for Best Picture. So after seeing that trailer for Mank and speaking to people who have seen the film, I feel pretty confident about keeping it as the frontrunner. Even though I think The Trial of the Chicago 7 was remarkable, I don't think it will be able to get ahead of David Fincher's latest. Mank is just top to bottom an Oscar-winning film. The acting looks incredible, the photography is stunning, the production design is magnificent, the costumes are gorgeous, like everything just looks perfect. Is Mank gonna run away with it? I'm not confident about that. I think that people love Chicago 7, and given the current political climate, the film is more timely than ever. And something that I'll talk more about later is that if the upcoming election goes a certain way, I could see the Oscars going more political and siding with something more relevant to today. Also, another film that is going to be talked about a lot this season is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I was not expecting it to look as magnificent as it does. Production-wise, design, costume, everything. So combine that with Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman, you have a Best Picture frontrunner. Last, this year is particularly difficult for literally a million reasons, but one of the big ones is because Netflix didn't join any of the festivals. So it hasn't competed against films like Nomadland, One Night in Miami, Ammonite, all of those. So we can't say that it won this over another film. Nothing really has leverage. But the exciting thing is that I think we're really starting to get into the awards season. We're finally seeing these trailers and images for the films. It's actually happening, y'all. Best Director. So as of now, in my 5, we have 3 nominees that I feel are no-brainers, will absolutely be nominated, that being Fincher, Zhao, and Sorkin. After them, I have Regina King, who I feel pretty good about, but not as confident. Then my 5th slot is more up in the air. I think right now it'll be either George C. Wolfe or Paul Greengrass. I go back and forth with them, but I'm gonna put Wolfe in for now. And something to note is that 3 of my 5 nominees are Netflix films. And that obviously makes me a little nervous, obviously not enough for me to make a huge change, but enough to catch my attention. And again, I don't think Fincher is gonna run away, although I'm expecting Mank to be like remarkable, to put it lightly. I don't think most of these races will be that close. Also, assuming this happens, this will be the first time 2 women have been nominated in this category in the history of the Oscars, which is both so exciting and so upsetting that it will have taken this long for that to have happened. Actress in a leading role. First, obviously Jennifer Hudson is now off these predictions because Respect has been delayed. But hey, another front runner for next year. Now, I saw that trailer for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and I said to myself, Viola Davis just won her second Oscar. Like, I know that the ceremony isn't for approximately 734 days, but Viola Davis just looks ridiculous here, my friends. I almost don't have anything else to say, because I think this could be one of those years where she just wins at every single ceremony, and there's not much competition. Kind of similar to our acting awards last year, but for the sake of discussion, she has some amazing competition. Like 2 other Oscar winners, Frances McDormand and Kate Winslet. Then, a 3-time nominee, Michelle Pfeiffer, and then BAFTA winner and Emmy nominee, who was moving up very quickly in this race, Vanessa Kirby. Viola, she has competition, but assuming this performance is one of her best, I think this is hers. I think this is actually the most exciting acting category this season. So much talent, I cannot wait. Actor in a leading role. We have a new winner. So, huge news, Chadwick Boseman will be running lead for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. This is pretty interesting because he seemed like the clear frontrunner in supporting, but now he is going up against a much more stacked category. It seems like Anthony Hopkins is the one to beat at the moment, so I think it's going to be between the two. And I'm still going to say that Daniel Kaluuya will be in the conversation. I'm pretty positive that he's going lead and Lakeith Stanfield is supporting, so assuming that holds true, they both feel like really strong options, and honestly, Boseman just looks remarkable. I miss him. I don't like talking about it, this award stuff, but I think he just looks great in this. Also, let's say, just for fun, these are your 5 nominees. This would be the first time in history that 3 people of color were nominated for this category in the same year. It happened once before for supporting actress. So to say that this would be historic would be the understatement of the year. I'm also looking at Stephen Yeun for Minari. He has been praised religiously, and another historic moment would occur if he was nominated, because he would become the first Asian American to be nominated for this award. Last, it was announced that everyone from Chicago 7 will run supporting, so I am A, very proud of Netflix, because that is absolutely the right call in my opinion, and B, that's why you don't see anyone from that cast in this lineup. Actress in a supporting role. We have a new winner. Friends, I made the switch. It finally happened. I now have Glenn Close winning her first Oscar. I think that Ammonite hasn't done very well so far, so I'm a little worried about its future. I'm not counting Saoirse Ronan out yet, not by a long shot, but I think I am starting to feel the change, and that Close is going to be the leader. And here's my thing about Glenn Close. I hate the whole, it's their time, they're overdue, but it may happen this year with Close. That's not to say she won't deserve it, because most likely she will. I know the trailer didn't vibe for some people, but I'm sorry, Glenn Close is one of the greatest actors of all time, and I think she looks amazing in this, so I will be thrilled if and when this happens. But, yes, there's always another but. Do not count out Olivia Colman. I have talked to many people who argue that she is the frontrunner. Yes, the Olivia Colman that shocked the world when she beat Glenn Close for actress in a leading role just like a hot second ago. My friends, do not be surprised if this race actually turns out to be Close versus Colman Part 2, and this may go Coleman's way. Aside from that, I feel pretty confident on Amanda Seyfried. I've also heard it's her best performance, which gets me very excited, because if it's better than First Reformed, I'm gonna lose my mind. But assuming she's supporting, I think her spot is pretty much guaranteed as far as a nomination is concerned. It should be interesting to see how she plays out, because I see a path, a difficult path, but a path nonetheless for her to pull this out. That 5th slot I've played with a lot. But based on that trailer for News of the World, I think the world is about to be shocked by JINGLE. She looks like a force. We'll see. I think this is starting to shape up into something really exciting. Actor in a supporting role. We have a new winner. This category just changed a lot because Chadwick Boseman will be campaigned as lead for Ma Rainey. Everything has changed. But I'm going to go back to my predictions from the beginning of the year and give this win to Bill Murray. Only change is that he was lead, but now that he's supporting, his chances are much higher. But this is for sure not his to lose. I think that pretty much any cast member from Chicago 7 could win this, especially Sacha Baron Cohen, Yahya, or Rylance. And then a big change I made was that I took off David Strathairn for now. He'll most likely go back in the future, but I think there's a chance he may not actually get the votes he needs. So I'm going to replace him with Yahya, which brings me an amount of joy that I I can't really express at the moment, because his scenes in Chicago 7 were arguably the best part of the entire movie for me, and he is coming off hot after that well-deserved Emmy win. I feel a little meh about having 2 from Chicago 7 in this category, but it's not unheard of. And this was a true ensemble film that is most likely going to sprint away with that SAG Ensemble win, and each person is pretty deserving of this nomination. And do not be surprised if Mark Rylance joins this list next month. Yesterday, I'm not kidding, yesterday I had him instead of Yahya, and I switched it last second. Also, unlike every other acting category, I could see a whole group of 5 different people end up getting nominated. This one doesn't feel all that certain, with the exception of at least one of the cast members from Chicago 7. Like, we don't know who is going to get the push from Mank. Will someone else in Ma Rainey get some love? Could Shia earn his first nomination? All of these things are very possible. Original screenplay. No new winner here. I don't think that anything is going to move past them. Maybe Minari, but I really think this is a 2-horse race between Chicago 7 and Mank. Could Mank do it? Yeah! It could be one of those years where one film just dominates every single category, and Mank could be that. I also think Minari is starting to move up in these categories, as I'm sure you can tell, but again, I don't think it'll be enough to overtake Netflix's 2 top contenders. And I'd love to say Soul has a shot, but I don't think it's going to happen. One day. One day, my friends, an animated film will win these awards. And it's gonna be amazing. Adapted screenplay. Okay, so I've said for a while now that it's Nomadland and everything else is just fighting for a nomination. Well, not sure if I totally feel that way anymore. Both One Night in Miami and The Father are gaining some serious momentum. Although Chloe Zhao's film has dominated the festival scene, I don't think this race is over. In fact, I think it's a bit closer than I expected. In the near future, I could see myself making the switch over to either One Night in Miami or even Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Last, I feel very good about my top 4. Very good. The 5th slot, that changes. Animated feature. Soul, and also Soul. Now, did I love Over the Moon? Yes. Do I know every song by heart? You bet your bottom dollar. But I think that it had to do even more. I think that Netflix's first major animated musical had to be something that blew the entire planet away to be the frontrunner over an original Pixar movie. Like, if it blew up like Spider-Verse did, maybe, but Soul has Pixar attached to its name, as well as Pete Docter. So unless Soul is somehow not amazing, I think that this should be a pretty easy call. Unless voters are just tired of Pixar winning, but I don't think they are. What I do want to say is the world better watch out, because Netflix has made at least 3 of the best animated movies over the last 2 years, that being Over the Moon, I Lost My Body, and Klaus. But as I will continue to say, when Pixar is nominated for an original movie, aka not a sequel, it has only lost twice. It's 8 out of 10 for original films. So although I adored Over the Moon and think it is deserving of a win, I have a feeling that Soul is gonna win this one pretty easily. Cinematography. We have a new winner. Well, my friends, it's time to really start being upset about Dune. I had it winning here and 5 other categories, so when one thing gets postponed by a global pandemic, a streaming film must take its place. And that streaming film is none other than Mank, streaming on Netflix December 4th. Eric Messerschmitt's photography is clearly one of the highlights of the film, not having seen it, but again, looking at the trailer, talking to people who have seen it, it's clear that that's going to be something that Netflix is really going to push. And assuming they do, and Messerschmitt wins, this would be his first nomination and first win. Either way, this man has quite a bright future ahead of him. Nomadland is also in the conversation, but I think that it may not be enough. Production design. Nostalgia. Nostalgia. It's just a thing. Now that Dune is out, Mank has a pretty easy win. Nostalgia is huge, my friends. Donald Graham Burt will most likely add a second Oscar to his collection, the first being from The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Then I also shocked myself a little bit by adding Ma Rainey's Black Bottom as fast as I did when I saw the trailer, but tell me that design isn't amazing. You can, I'll just disagree with you, which is great because we all have opinions, and it's great to voice those opinions, which reminds me, voice your opinion and vote. Costume design. Again, Shalom Dune, hello Mank. And look at that, it's Mank versus Ma Rainey again. 2 period pieces going head to head. Manx's costumes are led by Trish Somerville, who is most well known for her incredible work in the Hunger Games film, Catching Fire, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Ma Rainey has costumes designed by Oscar winner Anne Roth, who you may know from her win, of course, which was The English Patient, but also Places in the Heart, The Talented Mr. Ripley, The Hours, and one of my favorite comedies ever, The Birdcage. And you know what else she's working on? Wicked. So whenever that comes out, that'll also be a huge player. So although Roth has more of a name, I think that Mank will begin its dominance in these tech categories here. Last, I think in the coming month, I'll have Coming to America in my 5. I just need some first looks before I go too crazy, but when Ruthie Carter is attached to a project, you have to take that into consideration. Film editing. We have a new winner. I watched Chicago 7 and I said to myself, so many things. One of those things was, my goodness, that film editing is remarkable. You know that a film has incredible editing when it either doesn't feel like it happened or it feels like it is its own character. And with this one, the editing had its own character, and that's so important in an Aaron Sorkin film. Alan Baumgarten's remarkable editing fit perfectly with Sorkin's fast-paced script. Even if Dune had come out on time, this may have been one that I switched anyway. And again, since 1934, less than 15 times has a film won Best Picture without at least a nomination in this category. So keep that in mind while making your predictions. Makeup and hairstyling. We have a new winner. I'm actually really excited about this category for the first time in a while. Mainly because it's not just gonna be who has the best prosthetics. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, makeup and hairstyling isn't just who has the best prosthetics. There's so much more that goes into it. Yes, it's impressive, and zero disrespect to prosthetic work. I love it, and I think it's amazing. I just want to see something different. Because in the last few years, we saw Bombshell, Vice, Darkest Hour, so I'm anxious to see it kind of go in a new direction this year, and I'm thinking, as of now, that it's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Sound. Just sound. We have a new winner. With Dune out of the way, Tenet obviously moves up one slot and becomes the frontrunner. With Nolan films typically doing well in these sound categories, they've won or been nominated 8 times in the past, I think it is a safe choice to make this pick. But I do think with Dune out of the way, it officially has competition. I see a very easy path for Trial of the Chicago 7 to get in there. Again, I've talked about it in other categories, but I love when a technical piece becomes its own character. And if you've seen Chicago 7, you know that, first of all, the sound is great. Second, it played a huge, huge role throughout, specifically in one of the most dramatic and powerful moments in the film. I would not be so... I might change it. No, we'll keep it. Tenet. I might change it tomorrow, though. We'll find out. Visual effects. We have a new winner. So 3 months ago, I said it's Dune versus Eternals versus Tenet. 2 months ago, I said it's Dune versus Eternals. Last month, I said it's Dune versus everyone else. And this month, I'm gonna say Tenet versus Midnight Sky. My friends, this is what happens when the blockbusters get delayed because of a global pandemic. Tenet has always been in the conversation, and just like sound, it's just gonna move up one slot, but I really don't think Tenet is the clear winner here. We got that official trailer for George Clooney's upcoming space film, The Midnight Sky, and we know that the Academy love a good space film. In the last decade, we had First Man, Interstellar, and Gravity all winning this award. So a very fair argument could be made for this film to be the frontrunner. But I think that for now, I'm sticking with Tenet. But don't be too surprised when it changes next month. Original score. We have a new winner. So first, my 1 and 2 are Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. And I can't think of the last time that happened for me, so that's kind of fun. Anyway, I think with Dune out, easy frontrunner for next year, Soul feels like the most likely second. Pixar combining with jazz music, if that doesn't get you excited and emotional, I don't know what will. And because Reznor and Ross are teaming with Jon Batiste, it is a big, beautiful beverage that I'm gonna be asking for all day and night. Original song. My voice is getting tired. We have a new winner. Huge move because our frontrunner since day 1 has been Billie Eilish. But No Time to Die has obviously been delayed, so what takes its place? Well, that is a good question because this has felt pretty clear for so long. So now that we have our options, it's wide open. For now, I'm gonna go with Rocket to the Moon. I think the song is vital to the plot. It tells its own story. Kathy Ang sounds unbelievable. The orchestrations are gorgeous, and it has everything it needs to win this thing. And how many times has an animated film won this award in the last decade? 3. Coco, Frozen, and Toy Story 3. all Disney or Pixar, by the way. So 30% of the winners were animated, so its chances aren't too bad. But I also think there's some other options that are important about this category to discuss. First, Diane Warren. This legend has been nominated 11 times and has not won yet. She's been nominated in every decade since the 80s. And like I discussed in Actress in a Supporting Role, you know I don't like the whole it's their time, but it happens. So I would not be surprised if this ends up happening. And if it does, it would also be great, because the song's beautiful. Second, like I said before, depending on how this election goes, which reminds me, vote, I could see this award going to a song that is a bit more political. So don't count out One Night in Miami or The Fight for Democracy. Whether we want them to or not, the landscape of the country and the world can and have played a part in award shows, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it here. International Feature Film. That's right, International Feature has arrived. And my winner is currently The Life Ahead, which stars Sophia Loren, who is already earning herself some serious Oscar buzz. And tell me how beautiful this sounds. In seaside Italy, a Holocaust survivor with a daycare business takes in a 12-year-old street kid who recently robbed her. Raise your hand if you're gonna sob. It's off camera, but me. I'm also looking at Another Round, which is directed by two-time BAFTA nominee Thomas Vinterberg and stars someone who many people may recognize from The Hunt, Doctor Strange, Rogue One, Hannibal, so many incredible performances, Mads Mikkelsen. We'll see what happens. There are a lot of exciting international films coming out, and after Parasite made history last year, I think a lot of people's eyes are gonna be on this category, and will hopefully help people watch more international films because, in the words of Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho, once you overcome the 1-inch tall barriers of subtitles, you will be introduced to so many more amazing films. Documentary feature. You better believe it. Documentary is also here. I think the one that is going to hit the hardest is Totally Under Control. Why is that? Well, the documentary is about COVID-19. It takes an in-depth look at how the United States government handles the response to COVID during the early months of this pandemic. So it would make sense that one of the things that 2020 will be known for wins documentary. Also, the doc is directed by Oscar winner Alex Gibnett, who won this award over a decade ago with Taxi to the Dark Side. I definitely think that whatever ends up winning, it'll be a documentary that makes a big statement in the world. I'd also love to see John Lewis Good Trouble to win because he is one of my heroes, and I think it would be an unbelievably powerful moment to have his documentary win this award. Those are my predictions for the 93rd Academy Awards November edition. Let me know what you have predicted in the comments. Agree? Disagree? Let me know. And so, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video, give me your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to this channel, as well as follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at mjoseph492. Like my page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/MaxJosephFilmperson. Join the Amino live chat, which is open 24/7, 365. And if you really love me, please consider being a member of the channel, where you can get member-only content, guest interviews, giveaways, and lots more. You can even give me a film to review, a 10th of the month top 10 category, a ranking, or a song to sing. And that video will be dedicated to you. Shalom, my friends.